Okay, we're continuing with note 7. We got to letter F. On letter F, we got to draw it first, so give yourself a standard normal curve. I know I'm working with the standard normal because I'm working with Z's. Now, 0 is always in the center. 0.84 would be over here somewhere. And don't worry about drawing it to scale. Now, this says that Z is less than 0.84. Less than means keep going until you run out of curve. If it wanted you to stop at 0, it would say from 0 to 0.84. So when it says less than, it means everything to the left. Now, this is like our last one. We know that the table only reads areas from 0 to a point. So I've got to look that guy up. But this side, I know is 0.5 because the area from 0 in either direction is 0.5. It's symmetric. The area underneath the whole thing is 1. Now, from 0 to 0.84, I can look it up on the table. I can go to 0.8 and 0.04 on the top. Intersect, and I'm going to find 0.2995. That's this little highlighted area. But I want all of the shaded area. So you would take 0.2995 plus 0.5. The area that's shaded in red is 0.7995. All right, for the next one, again, start by drawing your standard normal curve. We're working with Z's on all of these. 0 is in the center. From negative 0.96 all the way to 1.25. All right, well, since we know that our table only reads areas from 0 to a point, I can find that. And I can also turn around and use my table to find this blue area, can't I? Let's do it. To find the yellow area, I'm going to look up from 0 to 1.25. So along the left, 1.2, along the top, 0.05, and I'm going to get 0.3994. My table only reads areas from 0 to a point, so I can look up from 0.9 on the left, intersect with 0.06 on the top. That's going to give me 0.3315. But I need the total area, so I'm going to add them together. Let's see, 9, 10, 13, 7. I think I wrote something down wrong. 3315. Oh, 3944. Excuse me. 3944. My bad. Were you screaming at the screen? I hope not. All right, when we add them together, we get 9, 5, 12, 7. 7259 is the correct answer. All right, what else can we do with these? And again, you've already watched the normal probability table videos, and this will help. It's just us kind of reviewing it a little bit more. All right, we're going to start at 2.53. I need everything. Let's see, Z is less than that. Remember, don't stop at 0 unless it says from 0 to that number. It means keep going all the way to the left. This is one of those where we can say the area from 0 out to this side, that's 0.5. So really my table can look up from 0 to this point, 2.5 along the left intersected with 0.03. Get back to that. And I find 0.4943. I need the total though. So I'm going to add 0.4943 and 0.5 together. I get 0.9943. That is the entire shaded area, all of the red. Two more. Again, I hope you're getting better at drawing those curves. I've been doing it for years and they still look weird. All right, 2.40 is over here somewhere. Greater than that. That means everything to the right. Well, that's going to be hard because the table only reads areas from 0 to a point. I can find that highlighted area, but I need the red spot. So I'm going to start off by saying, well, my table can find this area. It from 0 to 2.40 is 0.4918 for my table. But if I want a tail, right, since I know that the area from 0 out to infinity is 0.5, I'm going to subtract out that highlighted area that I don't want. And I end up with 0.0082. Let's do it one more time. All right, 2.02 is over here, and z is less than that, all the way to the left. Remember, if it's supposed to stop at 0, it'll be included in the direction. Now, I know that my table reads areas from 0 to a point. What it doesn't do is read like another chunk too, but I know the other chunk. This part is 0.5, and this part I can get from my table. If I look up 2.0 on the left, intersect it with 0.02, I'm going to end up with 0.4783. I want the total, so I'm going to take 0.5 and add to it 0.4783. So that'll be 0.9783. All right, so we've practiced up our table again. Now let's go backwards. Now, depending on notation, now I just want you to know how to find, go backwards and find something. It's not, the notation is not that interesting to me. I'm going to draw the picture and I really just need you to be able to go back and forth. So let's draw it. Now this one, they're giving us the area and they want the z-score that is the cutoff for that. So I'm going to start by drawing a normal curve. And here it says z is less than. So underneath some number, the area is 0.9887. And it says that z is under some number, right? Less than some number. So I'm going to start at the end of the curve over here. Up to here is 0.5, so I've got to go a little bit more. I'm going to go all the way up to here and say all of this is 0.9887. Why, Miss Lopez? Well, because if I start at 0 and head this direction, that much of it is 0.5, isn't it? So I'm really needing this z-score, which means if I knew this, I could get it. Well, I can find that. If all of the area underneath z is 0.9887, if I subtract out the 0.5, that leaves me with 0.4887 as this highlighted area. That should be in the table. I should be able to read back to the left and up. Let's do it. 0.4887. Find it in the body of the table. You're going to read back and up and add them together. You should get 2.2 and 08 when you read up and back. So that z-score is 2.28. Let's do it again. Now on this one, it says z is greater than, okay, so it's to the right of it. To the right of it, the area is 0.5478. So that means I've got to come in from the left because I've got to be to the right of the point I'm looking for. This, coming up this direction, this is 0.5, but I need a little bit more. So I'm going to stop it here and say that's the z-score I'm looking for. It's actually going to be a negative number. The other thing that I know is that all of that is 0.5478. Now, I know that from 0 to the right is 0.5. I need this highlighted area. so that I can look it up and get the corresponding z-score. I can find that by taking 0.5478, subtract out the 0.5, and that's going to leave that little shaded or that little highlighted area as 0.0478. Look that up in the body of the table, inside the table, because now we're reading out to get a z-score. You're going to find 0.1 and 0.02. When I add them together, I get let me get rid of that. It's going to be 0.12, but because it's to the left of 0, it is a negative value. All right, let's see if we can get these last two done in this video. All right, when they give it to us in this notation, they're actually giving us a tail. So I'm going to draw it. And again, I don't care that you know this notation. You'll never see it that way from me. But it's actually saying there's a little tail and it's got 0.025 in it. I need you to find me this z-score, that cutoff. We can do that by finding the area from 0 to that point. Start with what you know. You know that the area from 0 out to infinity is 0.5. Take out the little tail that I don't need for the table, subtract it out. That leaves me with 0.475 here. Now with 0.475, I look it up in the body of the table, read back to the left and up. That should find you 1.96 as our z-score. Now this last one, I kind of sped through that because this is a very important one. It's one of our ties. So let's draw it real quick and get started. If this is 0, we've got a little tail with 5% in it. By now you know that I'm going to need to find out what this is. It's 0.45, this area from 0 to that point. I use the fact that from 0 to infinity is 0.5 to find that, just like the last example. Now, when I look for that number in the body of the table, it's not there. This is one of our ties. It is equally close to 0.4495 and 0.4505. Since it is equally close, we have to do this thing called interpolate, which is a really fancy word that means take the average. I know, stats people. We're looking for that z-score. Since it is not in the table, and it's not, usually if it's not in the table, but it's closer to one value or the other, you would actually use the one that's closer. This is equally close to both of them. So we're going to take the 1.64 plus the 1.65 and divide by 2. Our z-score that we're looking for here is one of 3 that have 3 decimal places, 1.645. It's positive because it's on the right. Now there are 2 other ties. We only ever see this one and one more, but there are 3 total. I'll see you in the next video. You'll see that the other tie with me in a later video as well.